Now, joining us via phone is Executive Director of the Media Foundation for West Africa, Sulemana Braiah, for more on this. Good to have you on Joynews Prime. But you describe the minister's move as an interference of the state broadcaster. But how? Because she explained the platform is getting choked, and this is to allow for space.
I think that all the reasons that have been advanced by the minister, we've heard it before. I remember in 2017 when I had a meeting with a top official at the MCA. At the time, the person told me, well, all radio frequencies in Accra have been allocated. And just as the words that the minister used, if the president needs a frequency for an emergency broadcast or national security needs a frequency for an emergency broadcast, there was none available. Between then and now, we know that a number of radio frequencies have been given in Accra, and new radio stations have come up. So I think that argument is something that we've heard before, and it remains an untenable argument. I am really surprised that the minister would want to compare GBC with any of the private broadcasters that she says are operating on one channel. I think that is extremely surprising, knowing that this is somebody who certainly knows the critical role that GBC plays in terms of, bringing live events of from the presidency, from parliament, from national events, and so on and so forth. Now, having said that, it is so surprising that the minister would write such a letter, which is a directive, to GBC and completely ignore to even put on copy the National Media Commission, the body that has complete oversight over GBC, the body that appoints the governing board of GBC, and by extension, the Director General to whom the minister addressed her letter. Why would anybody think that for such a major decision to be taken by GBC, NMC would not be involved? Now, the minister says the platform is choked. It is filled up. But the question is, who filled it? When it was getting full, didn't they know? When they were approving Untumi TV as recent as April 23rd this year, didn't they know that they needed to have redundancy on the platform? GBC alone, so the national DDT platform, DTT platform, I should say, operates from 42 sites. Out of these 42, 38 of them are hosted on GBC property. So one entity, which is the enabler, making it possible for 38 out of the 42 sites to operate, then you say, we want you to reduce the number of channels that you are on, and so on and so forth. Now, which of the channels should GBC shut down? Is it the Obonu TV? Is it the Kids TV? Is it the GTV? Is it GTV News? Or which of them? And indeed, what is happening is we're not talking just about channels, because the channels are not lying fallow. These are channels that are broadcasting 24/7. So we are actually talking about a minister giving a directive to GBC to alter its content, to take down certain content, which the Constitution clearly forbids. Because if we were to allow this to happen, the next time somebody will write and say, GTV, we don't want you to do this program. We want you to rather be doing this program, and so on and so forth, which is a clear affront to what the Constitution prescribes in terms of insulation of the state broadcaster from governmental interference and governmental control.
Mr. Braiah, you talk about the Constitution, and that's why you describe her action as illegal and untenable. You say you want the NMC to take action, and some say the NMC hasn't been vibrant in the past few years. What would Media Foundation for West Africa do in the event that the NMC does not live up to your expectation?
Well, I think that first of all, we should give the NMC the benefit of the doubt. I think that if the NMC allows this to happen, I would not see, the need for us to have an entity called the NMC anymore. I would not see the relevance of that entity called the NMC. When there is a clear infraction, there is a clear attempt to command and control the national broadcaster, that the NMC has a responsibility to ensure that it is insulated from governmental control. But perhaps we should say that let's cross the bridge when we get there. I don't foresee the NMC sitting down for the minister to bully her way to becoming the one who decides that the GBC can operate on 3 channels, and that the Minister for Information, she had conversation with the Minister for Information, and the Minister for Information said it is possible. Since when did ministers become, the persons who determine what goes on GTV and what doesn't go on GTV?
So we need
this is a national asset, and we must preserve it as it is.
So we need to wait and see what comes out from the National Media Commission. I'm grateful for your time. Sulemana Braiah is the Executive Director of the Media Foundation for West Africa. Now.